Okay, so I had a vision, people, and I'm just going to tell you about it. And it was simple, and I'm supposed to figure it out. So maybe you can help me figure it out. Um, so in twilight, sleep is what I'll call it. I was given a vision from heaven, from God, of, get this, snow. Just snow. It was so real. I felt the cold. I saw the snow in front of me like 3D, three dimensional snow. Okay? Snow. Just snow. But I saw it in the distance. I saw it in the foreground. I saw it all around me, and I watched the snowflakes, and I moved my hand to move them out of my face, but I still could not see. It was not heavy snow. This was just snowfall. But because of the cloud cover, there was nearly zero visibility. Now I just watched another guy's video. I'm like, how do I tell this to the people of the world? How do I make a video and say, okay, I was shown by heaven, I was shown snow. How do you bring this to the world? Well, this is how I'm gonna bring it to the world. I'm just gonna tell it like it is. At this point, everything has been so accurate, I'll tell it like it is. All I was shown is snow, but I just watched a guy's video. I think he's Task and Purpose, and he was just talking about this and that, and he says that everything's fixing to clear up as far as the weather after today, or after Friday. I'm sorry, after Friday. Because he was talking too about the problems with the tanks getting stuck in the mud and all this. Well, right now though, what are they showing in Ukraine? 70% chance of snow. So I'm going to tell you what I believe it is. And I know that it's God is going to use snow against his enemy, against the enemy of the Jew. The Jew is the leader of Ukraine. He's siding with Ukraine. People, I think that Russia's fixing to take a whooping real good because of the snow. God is going to make them snowblind. This is what I know. So, and this is what I'm thinking too, is I'm trying to make sense of it, and I'm like, snow. What would snow? Okay, he's going to use snow for the enemy. I know they're sleeping in the woods. They're going to be cold. I'm seeing, okay, a lot of them are going to freeze to death. You know, possible. But they're also staying up at night, and they have what's called night vision, which means they're using just red lights, and they're just trying to, with their own eyes, not night vision goggles, because they don't have a whole lot of anything really. They're just tankers, you know, but they're sleeping in the woods because they're scared to sleep in the column because they know it's a sitting duck. Okay, well, in doing so at night, they're trying to stay up and watch for the enemy. This makes them very, very, very sensitive to light, like I am. And then in the daytime, just the sunlight off of the snow, and a lot of them don't even likely have sunglasses. They thought they were going to be in the tank for exercises, but if they did, you know. But I'm saying there's a lot of them will be snowblind. So they're making themselves sensitive to light at night. They get up in the morning and start their day, and you can hear them chatter about, oh, I'm going to make coffee, I'm going to do this and that, because their comms are wide open. Nothing's encrypted. It's really, it's retarded everything that they're doing. They're doing everything wrong. But there's a guy in Ukraine that's recording all of their audio of all of their transmissions and keeping it as proof that they were there, proof for war crimes later, proof that they invaded, all this stuff. Well, in doing so, they're saying, oh, I'm making coffee, oh, I'm doing this. So you know what they're doing. They're staying up at night, watching to see if anything's going to happen, kind of guarding their vehicles from the tree line. And then they've been sensitive to light at night, very, very, very sensitive to it. Not using night vision goggles, but just their eyes, just keeping them mostly shut so that they'll be sensitive to see something moving at night, like a cat. But then in the daytime, like how a cat has to close his eyes a lot in the daytime when it does this and goes on a prowl at night, they're snow blind. So it's not just the frozen that's going to freeze them to death, but snow blind. Now, any man in cold weather understands that people do die just from their heart stops pumping blood because it gets too cold and they're not used to it and they already had a blockage. They was waiting on a heart attack and then they die. This happens. It happens to people who go out camping for the first time in a long time. Okay. Well, yeah, they're used to cold weather, but not sleeping out in it all the time, and this being so cold, no person's body could just be out there like that. Not, at least not, well, however many thousands of troops that are out there. So some will freeze to death. That's what I'm to understand. All I saw was snow, but I'm made to understand a lot of them will freeze to death, like a lot. Then a lot of them will be snow blind, and when they are attacked, they won't even be able to see it coming. And this is just for today. This is only today into tomorrow. This is today into tomorrow. That's it. Because that's when the snow is going to happen. God is going to attack his enemy using snow. So people, maybe you can't handle that. If you can't handle that, that's fine. I'm just saying, watch the news. It'll make the news. It is what it is. It will make the news. And I had to put it out now because right now is the last day that there's going to be snow. It's like, man, but 70%. And I'm like, this is impossible that I just had this dream last night. So I was swatting the snow away from my face because even in my dream in twilight, like I was starting to wake up, but it was a vision, if that makes any sense. I was made to see this. So just like I said, they'd be surrendering, lacing their hands, didn't know how to say it. I'm just gonna put it out here like this. Hey, look, they're fixing, a lot of them's gonna freeze to death, and they're fixing to have snow blindness, and when they're attacked, they will be decimated. That's all. Whether they do it from the air, whether they do it from, it doesn't matter how you attack them. Right now, they're snow blind. Period. Anybody wants to take this, knowledge and go forward, if they're planning an attack, it's now. Now's the time. Listen, this is true. This is real. This is actual in real-time intel. And then I checked I wasn't checking even. I was like, man, I'm going to have to check the weather of that. I was just thinking this, but I was watching this guy's video, and he just happened to talk about it, and he showed the weather report for Ukraine. I'm like, this is impossible. That I'm sitting here watching the one video I just clicked on. He's talking about the weather, and I need to see the weather. I'm like, I got to go live. I got to tell this right now. So I'm telling it right now. A lot of them are going to freeze to death, and they'll be snow blind, and they're going to be attacked, and the rest of them, a lot of them are going to be decimated. Decimated because they're snow blind. Just like how people drive to work every day, and you're driving on the highway, and you know that there's what we call the sunshine slowdown. You come up over the top of a hill at a certain place in main cities where they're going into work in the main city from the suburbs, and they never bring their sunglasses, and they're like holding their hands over their face, and they're flipping the visor down, and it's so bright because it's the first morning light, and they're supposed to be there at like 7 or 8 in the morning, and they are blind in their cars, and so there's a slowdown because they have to drive a lot slower. These troops out there are ripe for the picking, like shooting fish in a barrel, ducks in a row. They'll be taken out. This is the perfect time to take them out too, because they're snow blind. But this will be the last chance, because they're going to be building bases, forward operating bases all the way around there. Then they're going to move in. Right now they're setting up for a long time, but they know they're sitting ducks. That's why they're sleeping in the tree lines. That's why they're leaving their vehicles. And all their vehicles have those tires that are Chinese. It's not just dry rot. They're just blowing apart. The rubber is different. It's not, we're not talking Goodyear and Michelin, We're not talking, even the Yokohama ones are better, but we're not talking truck tires like Bridgestone, good vulcanization process, good rubber. China will put anything together. They're like, oh, it's a tire. There's video trucks rolling with 4 flats, and that's just a personnel carrier that's hardly carrying anything in the back of it, not even maxed out. 4 flats on the rear, still driving it, because what can he do? And you can't judge that mud. But yeah, there's issues. Other than that, I think that there's something to the whole nuclear thing. I think he wants to make it a nuclear wasteland, and he's attacking everything and anything that has anything to do with nuclear radioactive substances. So basically, anything with a reactor. That college wasn't even a power plant, they just happened to have a reactor. They attacked it. Everything that's got a reactor is an objective. It's not to keep it safe because the Ukrainian people are keeping it safe. It's to use it. Likely to make polonium-210, but also to steal that material and make dirty nukes. There will be more dirty nukes. It will be commonplace. And yeah, just like the Molotov cocktails. Now, if you're any good with flying a drone and you don't know, you're not so good with warfare, but you had thought about going to Ukraine, I do know that they do have a group of people that are doing that for recon. It still puts you in danger, and they can find your position of where you're sending the signal from, but there's people doing it. So I'm hoping that they've already taken out, I think it was 3, one general who was supposedly one of Putin's main generals, or his main general. They also took out 3, I think 2 lieutenants, and one was I forget what they called him. A lot of the higher ranking military officers are dying right along with the men. And there's a hotline now that's in Ukraine that people have been calling from all over the world, wanting to know where their Russian soldier is located, if they have found them, either and killed them and that they're dead, or if they've been taken captive. They're asking Ukraine. People are calling from Russia to ask Ukraine, because they know the Russian government is not going to give them information. Plus, they're going to likely put them on a hit list for even asking. They're scared. So they've even told the soldiers if they didn't go to battle, they would kill their family. So then when this happens, who knows how they're going to act, but there's a lot of that going on. And the ruble is now rubble. It's worthless. And Russia's trying to say if you owe anything to any outside countries, they'll have to accept rubles. You have to have a whole lot of them. They're shutting down. Also, Google's not paying any of the people who have accounts with them, like YouTubers and people on, I guess, Twitch and all this other stuff in Russia. And some people are actually calling for Elon Musk to shut down the Tesla cars. I think that they pretty much own those. I don't know if that's a way to go for his company. However, they are taking all of the oligarchs and Putin's prized possessions, all of their ships, their big yachts. I call them ships. They are seizing them, and they won't get them back, because they'll be sold and given. The money will be given to Ukraine for war crimes, for helping the people. And all those people that have moved now, a lot of people from Russia are moving out, but they're getting intel now, because they're even calling Ukraine and asking for where their family members are at, and they're straightening them out on the situation. Oh, and by the way, yeah, they're attacking us, and we didn't attack them, and this is wrong. And so the information is getting to people in Russia, and they are all pointing at just Putin as being the problem. Nobody's even wanting to blame the Russian army because they were not even given orders to the last minute, and then they're just told to go into a country and they don't know what's popping. So they're not even full of hate for the Russian soldiers. However, when they come into battle and they fight and they shoot at people in Ukraine, you know, people in Ukraine, after they blow them up, are saying, "Welcome to Ukraine." There's videos of them saying that. They blow up a whole column. Hey, welcome to Ukraine. You know, so Slava Ukraine, you know, glory to Ukraine. And it's going to come to a end. They won't even have the money to take care of this, to pay for this little excursion. And besides, it's not a war, it's just a military exercise. At this point, they are in the point of their winter games where they are doing the parade has stopped, so they're doing the synchronized camping is one thing that you could call it. They'll get a gold medal for that. Appreciate it.
All set. Have a good day.
All right, God bless you, brother. So I just got my load done. Hey, gotta roll now. So Russia's doing synchronized camping. They're also in the middle of a death march. So this is, and they've even mentioned, all of the parents even have said they're cannon fodder being sent there. I said this. This is the charge of the Heavy Brigade. I did write a little song about it. I'm not going to put it up here right now. I'm going to have to edit it a little bit and this kind of thing, but it's kind of funny. So there's a little bit of humor in this. There's a little bit of sadness in this, and I still think they'll make good truck drivers. Operation Red Rover. We are currently accepting people who are defecting. I think they're going to have to have a place to be. They didn't know where they were going. There's even a Russian police officer who ripped up his passport, ripped up his credentials, ripped up his army credentials, and part of that is for his pension. He just ripped it up and says, "I am now defending Ukraine, and I'm embarrassed about what Russia's doing, and this is all from Putin, and somebody has to stop him." Well, I think this is going to come from the inside, and I was speaking about it before. Kind of, Russia knows what Russia has to do. That's how they're going to get the economy and everything fixed, and is what it is. So who knows where he's at? Some people are saying that it's a hologram when he was sitting there talking to a bunch of flight attendants and stuff, that it was really stupid. Just for him to show up on TV, it was really stupid. It was a photo op. And they said his hand went through the microphone, so they think that he was a hologram in that. That will only come out if those women admit to that later. But in the meantime, there's at least 2 Putins, and I don't like either one of them. Who's with me on that? God bless you, people. When we get off this thing, have an awesome day. They will be snowblind, and some of them are going to freeze to death. A lot of them. You will see this, and they're going to be decimated. Like it says in Zechariah. Like I said, this is Zechariah. Not by might, but by the will of God will this battle end. So Russia has got power. Russia's got might. It's not on their side. God himself took the hand of the Jew. Everybody else took the shirt of the Jew. He's leading him. Doesn't matter what side Israel's on. That man is being carried. That's all I got for you. Maybe you'll see it reading the news. God bless you. I'm out. Peace.